I don't like why you put me down. Shit, I am the shit.
This ain't no regular thing. Came for the ring, you know what I mean. I shoot my shot and it's clean. This for my city, yeah, this for my team. If you talking and talking me nice, I play with all of my life. You see my name in the lights, better get right, I'm champion. The game is in trouble, I've been in my depth for the piece of the puzzle, I got it for real. Still keep me going, I wake up and hustle, you won't see me buckle, I've been in the field. Man of the town, you been in your fields, I'm adjusting this crown. Call me your majesty, either that or your tragedy, we shutting everything down. I've been hot like somebody put a candle on them. Off top, I don't really stand opponents, this mine, the moment is run out and start a bunch of pandemonium. More game, I got some, the skill is bar one, y'all done, the game in the coffin. Referee screen recipes, and think twice if you next to me, it's West. This ain't no regular thing, I came for the ring, you know what I mean. I shoot my shot and it's clean, this for my city, yeah, this for my team. If you talking and talk to me nice, I play with all of my life. You see my name in the lights, better get right, I'm champion. It's our repetition, I'm stacking these trophies, I'm good with addition. I spit like a pastor, I give you the vision. Up early morning, enough for the sleeping. My life is a dream, but you wishing you lived it. Haters get livid, my pocket's Pacific, that's deep if you get it. So Tempur-Pedic, I sleep on the critics. Don't feel like competing, I'm hearing these crickets. Whoa, let me switch the flow, a new bounce. Coming to the den with a lion, I'm gon' pounce. Know I've been a king for a while, got a ring and a crown. That's the bling with the blow, what the team is about. Champions, you can tell by the ambience of this sound. Referee screen, rest in peace, and think twice if you never see me, it's no doubt. This ain't no regular thing, I came for the ring, you know what I mean. If you talking and talk to me nice, I play with all of my life. You see my name in the lights, better get right. This ain't no regular thing, I came for the ring, you know what I mean. I shoot my shot and it's clean, this for my city, yeah, this for my team. If you talking and talk to me nice, I play with all of my life. You see my name in the lights, better get right, I'm champion.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, you tuned in to the one and only Big Hank Sports Review. Basketball, football, breaking it down for you. Now vibe with me.
Like, comment, subscribe, oh yeah. Kick back, enjoy the ride.
Basketball, football, talking that truth. Sports review with Hank bringing the proof.
Big Hank Sports, like, comment, subscribe, kick back, enjoy the ride.
Basketball, football, talking that truth. Sports review with Hank bringing the proof. Step on the court, feel the sneaker squeak. Hank called a play like a coach unique. Fast break vision, highlight reel. He breaking down the stats with that southern feel. On the field, end zone, crowd gon' roar. Touchdown energy, we want more. So if you want the game from a real point of view, better show love, like, comment, subscribe to.
Like, comment, subscribe,
Say what?
Big Hank, keep the game alive.
Basketball, football, talking that truth. Sports review with Hank bringing the proof.
Big Hank Sports Review.
NBA nights, NFL days. Hank break it down in
So many ways.
from the block to the pocket, the hustle, the grind. Every story hit different when Hank defines. Laughs in the flow, but the game stay tight. He shine the spotlight where it feel just right. Sports and the culture, it's more than a vibe. It's the truth and the groove. Come on, subscribe.
Now don't wait, don't hesitate. Click that button, elevate. Join the tribe, be part of the crew. Sports review with Hank coming straight to you. Like, comment, subscribe, yeah. Keep the channel alive.
Basketball, football, talking that truth. Sports review with Hank bringing the proof.
Big Hank Sports Review. Review.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful Monday, guys. It is a beautiful Monday, and we're here to talk sports. Glad to be here, guys, with you. But let me say this, tomorrow's Veteran Days. Tomorrow's official day for Veteran Days. I know some of your companies may celebrate it on Friday, or maybe do it today, but tomorrow is officially the Veterans Day. Salute and shout out to every veteran, current military personnel, former military personnel, and the ones that moved on. Shout out to you guys for the sacrifices that you guys make. We greatly appreciate it. I have a few guys over here who have served, and I greatly appreciate them. One of them is my thorn in the side, Big Ann 11. Shout out to that brother. Thank you for your service. And anyone who else has served the country and did what they had to do to help us out, to be what we are today, to help us accomplish certain goals that we wanted in the world. And then not only that, but to keep us safe and allow us to continue to do the things that we like to do freely without any hesitation or issues. So I thank every last one of you ladies and men who have served. With that being said, let's get to the sports. Whole lot going on in the sports world, guys. A whole lot going on in the sports world. I'm sorry. And so one of the things I've seen today was a result of a game between the Detroit Lions and the Washington Commanders. So for those who didn't know or didn't get to watch the game, they had an incident happen during the game. Now, this game was pretty lopsided, right? You know, it wasn't a close game. Let's just be honest. I mean, it was bad. The Commanders are having a rough season. Jaden Daniel has not been playing a lot. Only playing in a few games due to a couple injuries. Well, they so happens to get the honor of playing against the Detroit Lions. High-power offense. Good team. And it was bad. I mean, the whole game, Detroit was just beating the brakes off of them. Now, Commanders was able to muster up 22 points. It still wasn't enough because they doubled that. Final score was 44-22. So in that incident, during that game, we had an altercation, right? And Coach, you never want to have them altercations between players. But that's what happened. So one of the Washington Commanders defensive tackles, Darren Payne, struck Amari St. Brown, a player for the Detroit Lions, and hit him. Now, we automatically know it's automatic ejection, right? And, of course, there's going to be some fines and maybe some suspensions coming. And so that's what happened. This player, Darren Payne, was suspended. Now, he did try to appeal. But, of course, the NFL said we're not going for that. Shout out to Hall and those. They can't go for that. And so with that being said, he was suspended for one game, and it was upheld, even after his appeal. It's not cool, man. It's not cool. And the thing about it, you're going to have bad games. You're gonna have bad outings and you might get blown out. But one thing you can't do is allow your emotions get the best of you. And unfortunately, this player had allowed his emotions to get the best of him, and he lashed out. It's not good. Not good at all. That's not cool. And unfortunately, he has to suffer the consequences. So he's going to be suspended for one game, no pay. One game, no pay, so he will be suspended. In other NFL news, I mean, look, guys, we got a lot going on in the NFL. A lot going on in the NFL. Another thing in the NFL news, New York Giants former head coach now, was fired. Brian Daboll was fired the other day. Or this morning, I'm sorry. He has a 2-8 start as far as his record. That's not going to cut it. Look, they probably should have did it last season. I don't know why they allowed him to come into this season. He was a walking dead. He was set up for failure. You know, he signed Russell Wilson as a free agent, Jameis Winston as a free agent. And then, of course, they draft Jackson Dart as a rookie quarterback. Now, I didn't think they was going to be that good, right? And the record definitely proves it. They won a couple good games. Well, I know one was against Philadelphia Eagles. But it just wasn't enough to say the man's job. Now, the GM's probably on his way out next. Right? He's his head should be on the chopping block too. But according to this article, Shannon will keep his position to lead the search for a new head coach. That's crazy because he should have been fired. They both should have been fired. I don't see why he's keeping it. Now, this might just be for right now. He might keep it in the season. They might say, we good and let him go. But right now, he's going to keep his job. Offensive coordinator Mike Kiefer will serve as the interim head coach for the New York Giants. You know, for those who don't know, he used to be the offensive coordinator. Dabo used to be the offensive coordinator for the Buffalo Bills a few years ago before he got to the Giants, and helped develop Josh Allen, but just couldn't develop his own player, his own quarterback. Now, maybe Jackson Dart is, but he's not going to get the opportunity to do it. Not going to get the opportunity to do it. So, I don't know what the Giants are going to do after this. What's the plan? You know, who's going to be the next Giants coach? I have no idea. Are they going to go for an assistant out of the NFL rankings? Or are they going to look at one of these college coaches? Who knows? But there's another job opening. As far as the NFL, another opening job at the NFL. So we'll see what how that all pans out. But as far as Dabo, he is a good offense coordinator. So he's not going to be unemployed long. I definitely could tell you that. He will be he'll have a job here soon. Let me just say that. He'll have a job here soon. He won't be unemployed long because, like I said, he's a good coach, but just maybe not a good head coach. Maybe just not a good head coach. So we'll see how that goes. But we know how certain individuals of a certain background could get fired and 2 years later get a head coach job. We've seen that happen before. Nah, I'm not going to sit there and make the statement, oh, the NFL's racist. No, I don't think that's the case. But people hire who they're familiar with, who they can relate to. And the NFL owners are all good old white boys. Shout out to the white brothers and sisters. But I'm just saying, we know they're going to hire who they're familiar with. Now, we do have the Rooney Rule. They are supposed to at least give a couple guys who are minorities. They include women. If you can fulfill the job position, you can get the job. But they do have that requirement that they have to interview minorities. Will they get hired? Well, that's a different conversation. But they do have to at least minimum interview a couple. My man D in the chat said they did the coach dirty. Set him up for failure. Could you kind of explain? I mean, look, I don't know about dirty. Did they set him up for failure? I believe so. That second statement I can agree with, but did him dirty? I don't know if they did him dirty. Because guess what? They gave him another opportunity to get a few more checks before he hit that unemployment office, get them unemployment benefits. But they set him up for failure. Yes, they did. Because truth be told, they should have fired him last season. He should have been gone. He should have been gone. They should have fired him then. Of course, the man's not going to quit because he just maybe it's just not in him. Most people just don't like quit. You got to fire me. I'm in it to win it. Maybe we could turn this around. I don't know what he was thinking. Truth be told, he probably should have already had his fillers out there already. Even after last day, man, I'll probably be available after this couple seasons, maybe halfway through season. If you like, you need the offensive quarterback coach or offensive liaison, as they like to call these new jobs now. I'm your man. So he probably should hit that LinkedIn as soon as possible. But they did give him an opportunity to get a few more checks under his belt before he got that pink slip. So did they do him dirty? I can't agree with. Did they set him up for failure? Yes, they did. One of my reasons, because they got Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston as your starting quarterback. Oh, well, Russell Wilson was starting quarterback at the beginning. Yeah, that's set up for failure because I think once Russell Wilson left Seattle, he was done. I don't think nobody should hire him or bring him in, not even for a backup. He's trash. But that's a different story. But he's going to land on his feet. Like I said, he's a good coordinator. That won't be a problem for him getting a job within a year or so. That won't be a problem. Who's going to be the Giants' next coach? Like I said, which route are they going to be willing to take? They're going to go the college route? They're going to go the NFL assistant route? Or are they going to have one of these retread head coaches? Who knows? Who knows? I'm just glad my team, the greatest team in NFL history, the team you see on the thumbnail, the team that played the Giants on Sunday, that helped them get to that 2-8 mark, has found a coach in Ben Johnson. Let's get into it. I wasn't going to go to NFL route first, but we're going to get to it. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. So with that being said, let's go with some of these scores because some of these games was terrible. And then he had some upsets in there that just ruined my parlay, you assholes. Yeah. But we could talk about that too. That being said, it started off on the Thursday night game. There was a daggone snoozer. I just woke up and found out the results of the score. I just went to sleep. It wasn't worth staying up for. So the Denver Broncos end up beating the Las Vegas Raiders 10-7. Then we had the shootout between the Atlanta Falcons and the Indianapolis Colts, which the final was 31-25. We also had the battle of the scrub teams between the Jets and the Browns. And the Jets found a way to be victorious. Look at here. The New Orleans Saints said, I know we're bad, but we're not as bad as the Carolina Panthers. The Saints ended up winning 70-7 over the Panthers. Two good teams, two up-and-coming teams. We had the Tampa Bay Buccaneers facing the New England Patriots, and Mike Vrabel and his New England Patriots have still found a way to win 28-23. You had the Baltimore Ravens, the second game back for Lamar. Didn't look so well, but they found the victory, and that's all that matters. 27-19. You had the Buffalo Bills. This is one of the upsets I'm talking about. Christ, killing me. Over the Dolphins over the Buffalo Bills, 30-13. Of course, we had the greatest team in NFL history, the Chicago Bears, over the Giants, 24-20. Another one that I felt like I was upset. But, it is what it is. The Texans, the Houston Texans, over the Jaguars, 36-29. You had Seattle beat the brakes off of the Arizona Cardinals, 44-22. You had another lopsided win, and that was the Detroit Lions, 44-22 over the Commanders. Man, these lopsided games are bad. Rams over the San Francisco 42-26. Another lopsided victory. Jesus Christ. 25-10 over the Pittsburgh Steelers. And of course, tonight we had the Monday night special. We had the Eagles and the Packers. But that's this week 10's NFL scores. Like I said, I had a parlay going, and of course the Jaguars let me down, as well as the Bills and the Panthers. These scrub teams kept my 10K parlay out. I won the other games that I bet on, but those three, they lost it for me. Now, some people may say, you got too greedy trying to pick 10 games. You might be right. So for now on, I think I'm going to break it down within 5 games and just go with 5 games and go for that. That 10-game parlay, I seen the results and I wanted it for $5, and I just didn't get it. My man D in the chat said, I wonder if Bill Belichick would come back to the NFL and coach the Giants. Now, for those who don't know, he used to coach the Giants back in the day. Now, he was an assistant when the Giants won the Super Bowl with Bill Parcells. So, hey, why not? Why not? Will he leave after one season in college? I don't know. Is that Bill that type of guy? Will he leave after one? I don't know. He probably could. You know, we all know that's where the NFL is, bread and butter. Look, I think Jackson Dart's a good quarterback. I think he has a lot of potential. Truth be told, probably really was the best quarterback in that draft last season. I know Cam Ward went high, the number 1 overall pick, but he's not doing well. He's not doing well. So Jackson Dart's out there flourishing, showing he does have that ability to play the game. Got that swagger you want in your quarterback. Will Bill come back to a team like the Giants that has a quarterback, you know, that has a lot of potential like Jackson Dart? I don't know. Look, I'm gonna say this: whoever gets the Giants, coach the Giants, I think, like I said, I do think Jackson Dart is a good quarterback. So they have a good centerpiece to start with and to build around. So you got that in Malik Neighbors, good wide receiver. Now you're gonna definitely need some running back help. Look, I say this: they got about 3 top number 1 picks on that line that's just not playing up to their potential. I don't know. They signed Barnes, who used to play at the Carolina Panthers end. I mean, he's having a pretty decent season. He's got 11 sacks so far, so he's being productive. So I mean, look, they got nice little corner pieces as far as Jackson Dart, Malik Neighbor on offense. They got some good defensive players on the team. They just Ryan Day just couldn't get it done. So would somebody like Bill Belichick be able to motivate these guys to get them to play? Who knows? D in the chat said they got a solid defense too. Look, I agree. Look, I like a couple of guys on the defensive front. They got a lot of potential there. Not impressed with the cornerbacks. But they got some pieces. They got some pieces, and they just need to get the right coaching there that's going to help them turn this thing around. It's going to be the most important thing, for sure. That's going to be the most important thing. As far as these other games, man, look, the Rams are tough, man. The Rams is a tough out, and they're gonna be a tough out. Look, that I'm gonna say this: that NFC West is a two-team race. Truth be told, 49ers are not it. Arizona's not it. It's gonna come down between the Rams and Seattle, and Seattle's got a hell of a defense. Sam Darnold's a pretty decent quarterback that's going to get him where you got to get him. You know what I'm saying? He has the ability to score. You know, they got some help in Rashid Shaheed as far as a wide receiver. Now Jackson Smith and Njigwa has got some offense out with it. And they got the young Trout. I think that's the third receiver name. He's a good receiver. You know what I'm saying? He's starting to flourish, starting to come into his own. So the Seattle, man, they pretty decent. Now, their running game, trash. Kenneth Walker's not good. Zach Charbonnet is not good to me. But look, running back by committee, that's the norm now. It's not like that old saying, you had two quarterbacks, you ain't got none. We can't say that about the running back position. These two dudes would really complement each other, able to find some way to keep teams honest. So the play action is definitely there for them because, you know, they make sure they run enough, good enough, decent enough to at least keep teams honest. Now, as far as the Rams, they got now Stafford. Only thing about Stafford is his health, right? You just got to hope you can keep him upright. They got a couple good receivers, you know, with Adams and what's my man? Panuka. God dang it. What's my man, the receiver? I can't think of his name. But they got two good, decent receivers. I do like Williams as a running back. I think he's very productive, does his thing. Look, it's a two-team race, like I said. Between those two teams, they're two solid teams in that West, so they're going to fight for that division. It'll be up to them. I think the 49ers are done. Arizona never got started. Look, I'm going to say this about Arizona. I think they made a bad decision by re-signing Kyler Murray to that long-term deal. I really do. I think they made a bad decision. And I think they're starting to see it because they put your boy on IR, and is he really hurt that like that to be on IR? I don't know. But they rather go with Brissett. Now, we all know Brissett's a journeyman quarterback, and he's been around everybody's quarterback room. Somehow, some way, he keeps a job. He keeps a goddamn job. Kyler's too small, man. I think he's smaller than Breed. Yeah, he is. He's 5'6". It's the size of a goddamn middle schooler. Yeah, he's small. Now, I don't know if he's 5'6" real. I don't know how tall he is, but he's a small man. And I know you're going to say, well, compared to them big old guys from NFL. No, man, he's not. He's small, man. He's just a small. Let me look him up. Let me see. Look how big Kyler Murray is. Let me see. Let's look up Kyler Murray. Let's look up Kyler Murray. Okay. But I know this is a goddamn lie. He said he's 5'10". You come on, man. Come on, man. I bet that dude's about 5'7" in real life. This is so. Of course, they said, look, 5'10" according to the what they saying. He's 5'10". 5'10". Yeah, that's not true. But I agree with you, D, in the chat. I mean, yeah, he's small. He's been small his whole life. But somehow, some way, you know, he's been productive as far as college and high school. But in the NFL, it ain't carried over. He's not good in the NFL. He's not good. And unfortunately, like I said, they just re-signed him to a new deal, so they have to pay him. They're gonna have to pay him. And if they trade him, they gotta hope somebody takes his deal. If they see the results I'm seeing, yeah. But there's some dumb teams out there. Let me say this. Somebody like the New Orleans Saints, they were desperate for a quarterback because I don't think they got one between Struggs and Rattler. So maybe you can pawn them off to them clowns. Maybe the Raiders. The Raiders might take them. They don't care. They'll take anybody. I don't know. Sucker born every day. So you can find the one sucker to take Kyler Murray off of. There you go. Sit them. Ship them. Express delivery. Next day air. I'm just saying. This is what it is. This is what it is. So that being said, I don't know what their plan is. But like I said, it's in that West, the NFC West is 2-game race. 2-game race between Seattle and the Rams. And so they're going to be fighting for that division. They're going to be fighting for that division. And like I said, as long as the Rams, Matt Stafford, and that line could keep him healthy and upright, man, they got a good chance. They got a good chance. So I don't see nobody else really coming up to challenge them two guys. But looking at it in that West right now, the Rams and the Seattle both on a 4-game winning streak. They both 7-2. Let me see. When do they play each other? They play each other one game on December the 18th. And next Sunday. Next Sunday, they play each other. So they got the 2 games in that division coming up. So whoever wins this coming Sunday will take the course of lead over the division. Unless they ended a tie. It's possible. We've seen that with Dallas and Green Bay already. So it's possible to end in the tie. But then they're going to have, I guess, a tiebreaker. So they do play again. So this Sunday, they look like they got the 4:00 slot as of right now. They could move it to Sunday night. The NFL has that option, so move games around. So this Sunday, November the 16th, they are scheduled to play at 4:05. Seattle and the Rams. So that's going to be a good game. That's a lot on the line between those two teams. So definitely going to be a good game. That's going to be a good matchup. But as far as them two teams, yeah. That's where your division winner going to come out from. I mean, that's where it's going to come out from. We'll see how that all plays out. It is what it is. Let's go over to my division. Right now, of course, the Packers plays Philadelphia tonight, so we'll see how that goes. Philadelphia is a 1-game division right now. Philadelphia leads. The Tampa Bay Bucks leads the South only by 1 game. Seahawks, of course, lead the West, but it's really tied, so we'll see how that results. But let's get on our division. Right now, if the Packers so happens to lose to the Philadelphia Eagles, now we're going to have pretty much a 3-way tie. Now, even though the Packers will have 1 less win than all of us because they got that tie, it'll be as far as the loss column, it'll be 3 teams with 3 losses. Now, Minnesota is almost damn near out of it. Right? They not only just out of the NFL, but almost out of the playoffs, period. Right? Because right now you got 7 teams that go in. And then, of course, you got whoever gets the 1 seed going to get the home field advantage route. You know what I'm saying? Then you got the 2 seed. It's going to be one of these division winners automatic. Then the 3rd seed will be the next record. And then the 4th seed will be whoever has the worst record. So if the playoffs started today, right now, you can have Seattle as number 1 seed, Philadelphia number 2, Packers at number 3, and Tampa Bay at number 4. Now, the wild card will be the Rams, Detroit, and the Bears. That will be your 7 teams. You got 3 out of the North, 1 out of the South, and 2 out of the West. So that's what you have right now. That's where we stand. You got Seattle and the Rams who come out of the West. You got Tampa Bay come out of the South. You got, of course, the Packers in the North and the East will be the Philadelphia. So you got 1, 2. That's your 4 division. That's automatic 4. Then you got your other ones. So Rams will be the first one in. That's 5. You got the Lions who went out. That'd be 6. And the Bears will be number 7. That'd be your 7. The Bears will be the seed, the last seed. So we will get the opportunity to go against the Philadelphia Eagles, because that's where they would go against the number 2 seed. As of right now, as it stands, the playoffs started today. That's where it stands. All right. That's the NFC. Let's look at the AFC. So you have the Patriots, you have the Broncos, you have the Colts. So if it started today, right? And it's crazy because it's three-way tie for the best team. So I don't know how they would do it if all teams like 8-2, 8-2, 8-2, unless they would go head to head. Jeez, it's kind of hard because now look at this. The home record 6-0, 3-2, 5-0. Damn. I would say Broncos would be number 1, Patriots would be number 2, and of course the Colts would be number 3. So there you are. That's your 3 leaders. Then you got Pittsburgh Steelers, who still has the AFC North. That's your 4th. So now we got to pick up the rest of these guys. Number 5 will be the Chargers. Jesus Christ. Bills would be number 6. And your 7th team would have to be, if it starts today, the Jags. That's crazy. Because right now you have Kansas and the Ravens not in the playoffs if it started today. Now it's got a lot of games left to be played, but if it starts today, that will be your 7. Jags will be the 7th seed in. D in the chat said, yeah, my Cowboys are done. Hoping the Packers lose. Damn. Yeah, I mean, hope your Bears make it in. I hope so too. Said he likes Caleb. Okay, there you are. AFC is loaded. This is a fact. Let me say this about the AFC, man. That's going to be a tough out. That AFC is going to be a tough out. Because like I said, it's a lot of games to be left to be played. You know what I'm saying? A lot of games. You got 18 weeks. A couple teams still ain't had their bye yet. That's crazy, but they haven't had their bye yet. So you got a lot of good teams. Right? A lot of good teams. And so right now, the best team the best division in the West is AFC West. You have 82 Broncos. You have the 73 Chargers. You have the 5-4 Chiefs. And of course, you have the 2-7 Raiders. But you got 3 teams who win a record. They're all fighting to get in a playoff. All fighting to get in that playoff. So definitely going to be interesting how all that pans out for them teams. I don't know what to really expect, but I know it's going to be a hard out. Like you said, D in the chat, AFC is loaded. So you better be ready for a dog fight. You in an AFC. You got to be ready for a dog fight because it's not going to be an easy out. It's not going to be an easy out. So with that being said, let's get over to the college football. Let's give these young bloods, these guys who are destined, hoping to be in a NFL someday who's striving to be there. Let's get over and see and talk about that a little bit, right? We also have some college basketball because in case y'all didn't know, college basketball season has started. And my team, Kentucky, has a big rivalry game tomorrow, Tuesday, Veterans Day, at the Yum Center in Louisville, Kentucky. So we're going to talk about that. But let's get to this college football first. So this week in college football, man, look, Indiana's still rolling, man. Indiana is still rolling. They beat Penn State at the last second. I tried to show the video, but it was so distorted, man. I didn't even want to bring it up. I feel like it's a disservice you guys to try and see it. But that last second catch touchdown, man, that was a damn. I don't watch ESPN like that, but I know it's a top 10. And it might be on. You might have it on Sunday with You Got Mossed, because that was a hell of a catch over the Penn State defender. But Indiana ended up beating Penn State 27-24. You had USC blow the brakes off of Northwestern 38-17. You had James Madison beat Marshall 35-23. You had Georgia over Mississippi State 41-21. You had Texas Tech still rolling over BYU to give BYU their first loss in the conference of the Big 12, 29-7. You had Ole Miss blow out the Senator 49-0. Ohio State beat Purdue 34-10. You had Miami bounce back and beat Syracuse 38-10. You had Texas A&M, man, they tough, 38-17 over Missouri. You had Oregon scraped by Iowa 18-16. You had Vanderbilt over Auburn 45-38. You had Wake Forest beating Virginia 16-9. You had Louisville losing to Cal at the last second, 29-26. You had Notre Dame over Navy 49-10. And you had Alabama blowing the brakes off of LSU 20-9. Of course, that was just the top 25, this recent top 25 poll that I just announced out. You also got some good, tough games next week. You got some good, tough games next week, so those will definitely be interesting on how those pan out, because they could definitely make a factor in some results. I know that Oklahoma and Alabama game is definitely going to be one to watch. You know, that'll be a game to watch. Another game to watch is the Indiana-Wisconsin. I know Wisconsin doesn't have the best of the best record, but Wisconsin is one of those teams that's a hard out, man. They're going to give you all they want it, right? They definitely going to do that. So that'll be another good matchup that you would want to definitely check out. Should be very interesting. So we'll have to see on that. But I do like that game. I do want to see that game because it's, like I said, it's going to definitely be a hell of a matchup. But as far as the college basketball, guys, it started a couple weeks ago, I think on October not October. I think it's, when was the first game I remember seeing? I want to say about October the 28th was the first game that the big boys got the opportunity to get out there and play and show what they got to do. Of course, the NBA is already fired up too. They're about 10 to 15, well, about 12 games in, I think now. But as far as college, they've been having some big matchups. You had the Carolina going against Kansas, Arizona being upset, Florida losing. So you got to have some good matchups, man. Has some great matchups. But now, guys, for y'all didn't know, we have a new number one. Now, Purdue did lose, but the outings they've been playing, they ain't been looking good, right? They ain't been looking good, so they end up falling in the polls from 1 to 2. Houston takes over the number one spot. Houston takes over the number one spot. Then you got Purdue, number 2. You got UConn, number 3. You got Duke, number 4. You got Arizona, number 5. You got Michigan, number 6. BYU, number 7. Alabama, number 8. You got Kentucky coming in at number 9. You got Florida at 10. That's your top 10. That's your top 10. St. John's ended up losing. Of course, Florida lost like the first game they played against Arizona. So that's why you see them there. Also, Kansas lost to Carolina. That's why they fell from 19 down to 25. So you had those few upsets. Kentucky gets to play Louisville tomorrow at 8 o'clock on a good Tuesday. Normally we will play later on in the season, but they're playing early. It's been moving up early since then. Usually, like a couple years ago, it used to be like after Christmas. Now it's before Thanksgiving. This is crazy, but this is what it is now. This is what it is. So should be a great game. Number 12, Louisville going against the number 9 ranked Kentucky. That's a big rivalry in my state. And let me go and say it right now, for those who doesn't know, one of the best rivalry in all the sports, Kentucky and Louisville, when they play each other. For those who are not from the state, are not familiar, you don't understand. But when I say please believe you me, it's a hell of a rivalry. It's a hell of a rivalry. So looking forward to that game for tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? I will be watching it, checking it out, checking in. My son has a game on Saturday. We will be in Indianapolis, which is only a couple hours away. So I have to get ready for the road trip. So I won't be streaming that game because I will actually be at the game. So that'll be a lot of fun to go up there and cheer on my son's team. Right now they sit at 3-2. They got to bounce back. They played in the little tournament. They ended up losing both games. One of the games they had a chance to win, and then they found a way to jack it off. Saying it in a kind of manner. But you live and you learn. You live and you learn. They know what they need to do. They know what they need to do. So just get back into it, get back to the lab, get better, work on some things, and go out there and compete. And so that's what they're gonna have to do. And so I know they've been practicing hard since then. So they just got to get in there and get back in the lab, like I said, and work on what they need to work on. Continue to develop the young guys that's on the squad. Some of the new guys on the squad, you got to develop them too, and make sure some of the older guys are more mature and seasoned guys are doing their job. And little things like that could definitely make a difference. So we'll see how that goes. So they got a game this Saturday up in Indianapolis. So looking forward to going to that game. But as far as the Louisville Kentucky game, for those who don't know a lot about the rivalry, back in the 80s, when the title came up, the Dream Game, right? We got the opportunity of playing in the NCAA tournament. And I want to say around 83, right? I think it was 83. I could be wrong. But I want to say, now, of course, let me say this. We did have games prior to that, right? We did have games prior to, but it was what really brought it out and brought the game to where it is now was the NCAA tournament. That we played back in the 82-83 season in the NCAA. Now that game was in Nashville, is where the game was actually originally played, and Kentucky won that game. I mean, Louisville won that game. I'm sorry. Louisville won that game. Back in 83, 80-68. All right. So that kind of sparked the rival right there, right? That game right there. And ever since that game, you got the governor involved. All right. The governor got involved and made it an annual game. Made it happen. Of course, the coaches back then was Danny Crum and Joby Hall, which both have unfortunately moved on. So let me give you a little history. Both of these are public schools. Louisville was founded in 1798. And I know some of y'all really don't probably give a shit about this, but I'm going to say it any goddamn way. It doesn't matter because it's my show. Kentucky was founded in 1865. Location, Kentucky's in Lexington, and of course, Louisville is in Louisville. Conferences they play in, SEC for Kentucky, ACC for Louisville. Nicknames is the Wildcats, the other ones is the Cardinals. First official meeting was February 15th, 1913. Kentucky won 34-10. The last meeting was December the 14th, 2024, 93-85. Next meeting is, of course, of tomorrow. The total amount of meetings is 57. And, of course, Kentucky leads these meetings 40-17. So right now, the current winning streak is 3. The biggest margin of victory, 34 for Kentucky and 22 for Louisville. So this rivalry, like I said, goes way, way back. Because what really makes it better, they're not in the same conference, right? They're not in the same conference like the Duke and North Carolina, where, since guaranteed they're going to play sometime season. But it's not guaranteed with us, but we have to make it that way. We have to intentionally put it on the schedule for each other. So that's what it is. This rivalry, like I said, goes back deep, man. I mean, to the point where 2 cancer patients got into an altercation while they're getting their dialysis, and they fighting. That's some nasty one, but that's how rough it is. What's going on? I know it's tough for you right now. Your team is 4-5. Your team is losing, but y'all got another ass kicking coming up this weekend, and I'm looking forward to it. But glad to see you, brother. Hopefully all is well. But as far as this rivalry, man, it's definitely going to be interesting. I definitely, let me say this. If you like basketball, you're a basketball fan, especially a college basketball fan, I definitely I definitely invite you to tune in. I definitely invite you to tune in. Should be very interesting. I'm sure you will enjoy the game like I will be enjoying the game. Definitely want you to make sure y'all guys check it out. It won't be one of those games I'll be yelling and hollering and watching the game the whole time. It's one of those games that I don't like to be around nobody else, just be by myself watching the game. Used to go to like them U of L and Kentucky Part I guess I get into it too much. Then I start to talk shit. Then they don't like it. It is what it is. But look, the game's tomorrow. I'm definitely looking forward to it. My little fans who watches me on Facebook or on YouTube will definitely know what I'm talking about. How intense that rivalry really is. Because it's like that. The house is divided. My wife so happens for some odd reason tend to be a Louisville fan. I don't know why. She wears these ugly ass Louisville shirts. Yet she does have a Kentucky shirt. We did go to a game last season. And she enjoyed herself. So we'll see. I don't know. I might take her to one this season. Depends on how she acts. Depends on how she acts. She act right, I might take her. You know, she'll keep her ass at home. Guys, I need for y'all to do me right. I ain't said it all day. I'm mad at myself. What am I thinking about? Guys, do me a solid and hit that like button. Every last one of you, take the time out. You watching it live or on the replay. Hit that like button. I promise you I appreciate every one of y'all. I promise you I do. But before I go tonight, before I step away, because you know, look at this bullshit. Look at this statement here. We not losing to y'all. Y'all luck will run out. That's what you call a bitter man. That's a bitter man statement right there. That man is angry. You know why he's angry? Because his team is not as good as mine. And he's bitter because his team just got his ass handed to him yesterday. It's not my fault. He said, that's an honest man. You will see. I don't believe that to be the case. But a clock's wrong right twice a day, brother. So we'll see. But I'm not gonna let Q get me off because it's this trash talking he's doing to me right now. That's okay. I could accept that. Q knows the rules. If you're going to trash talk me, I don't mind it. At least put it in a super chat. Do a brother a favor. But like I said, it's that time of season, guys. And for those who are new for me or not familiar with me, that's okay. You're going to get familiar with me. I'm gonna make sure you're familiar with me. And one of the things I do like to do, I like to participate in the Angel Tree, right? And that's the program that's through the Salvation Army. So what I like to do is I go get 2 Angel Tree kids, usually young boys, because it reminds me, like I said, like I tell everybody else, it reminds me of my brother and I. We was recipients of the Angel Tree. And so I would definitely encourage you guys, if you can, to go out and do that. I'm going to challenge everybody, every time I get on somebody's page and I able to give a final thought or my thoughts, I'm going to challenge them. Do an Angel Tree. Do it for the kids. You know, whether you could get one child or many child kids, I don't know. Go ahead, do it. And if you can't do it with your money, they do have opportunities to volunteer. So one of the things they do have to do is get the stuff together and hand the stuff out to the families. You can sign up for that. Every little bit counts. Give back as much as possible if you can afford it. If you can't afford it, I understand that. It is what it is. But if you can afford either with your time or your money, do that. I challenge every last one of y'all to do that. I'm going to do it. And like I did last year, I'm gonna do the video on it and show the different items that I did buy for the 2 boys. And I'm gonna share that with you guys. I know last season we did a lot of our shopping at between a couple stores, Burlington, Ross, TJ Maxx, and a couple other stores. And the beautiful thing about giving back, man, if you let some of these department stores know, these stores know that you're doing it for charity, what you're doing it for, man, they will give you a little discount, man. And when I went to Burlington, shout out to Burlington's, they did that for me. And the good thing about Burlington is you get a lot for your money. You really do. So let me issue this challenge. I challenge every last one of you guys, whether you can do with your money or your time, to help out with the Salvation Army Angel Tree, man. If you can, you ain't got enough to buy whole outfits or everything in the back, cool. Drop a little money in that little red bucket. Them people you out there shaking that bell. I mean, shaking a bell and doing that. Drop a little money in there. Salvation does so much. Like right now, doing this government shutdown, they're helping people out. They have a food pantry over there. You can sign up. If you need something for your kids and you need to sign up for Angel Tree, I think it's still going on where you can sign up. I know it starts in like late September, early October. It may still be open. You may be able to get a last minute in there. If you know a family that's in need, definitely make sure you can sign them up. They are going to ask some qualifying questions because, you know, some people try to always get over on doing these times. It's just unfortunate. It is what it is. But I definitely encourage you guys to do that. Sign up, man, and do what you can to help out as much as possible. With that being said, I will catch you beautiful people on the next one. Right on.